Something can look very nice and be very dangerous. That's all I'm trying to say. Someone can look very nice and be very dangerous. And this month, I'm not going to take it easy because counseling has proven time and again that we have a lot to learn. And a lot of people still don't get it. You have bought that media narrative that marriage is just cute. And you don't see, and I'm not mincing words, it is potentially dangerous. There is ample statistics to prove. Listen, in a 6 months period, and you know every data in this country is understated. In a 6 months period, in Lagos alone, 2,300 cases of domestic abuse, and I mean in between spouses, were recorded, and 4 deaths. Lagos alone. And between 2019 and 2021, 205 couples killed their spouse. 205 people killed their spouse. So this is a matter of life and death. See, for the rest of the series, we will tell you how to have a happy home. I'm here to talk about survival. Only the living can marry. Are you listening to me? I'm here to tell you this decision can be the difference between life and death. Globally, 70% of female murders happened from their partners, either present or past. So this is a serious thing we're talking about. Serious thing. Let's move away from physical abuse for a while and talk about some other things. I'll tell you 2 stories. The first one, I have at least 2 examples of it, and you don't realize how common this is. That there will be somebody who grew up in a good Christian home, was very disciplined growing up, was celibate, and got everything right, but choice of a spouse. Only to realize as time went on, in one case it was a guy, and in another case it was a lady, was getting sick, was wondering what happened. When the sickness continued and persisted and became recurrent, went to the hospital, they just out of curiosity ran some checks and came out. Not only was she HIV positive, she had full-blown AIDS. In the other case of the guy, just discovered his wife belonged to the streets. So, do you know what it means? And this is why I am going to be as blunt and brutal as possible. Because I think it is particularly disheartening. If it's in the world, I even understand. You don't keep yourself only to marry someone that, do you understand? Because of the person's irresponsibility. Now they tell you have months to live. Are you listening to this? How do you be disciplined all your life, make all the right choices, be celibate, do everything, follow the word of God in your life, and then marry somebody whose wrong choices you have to pay for? That someone has months to live and it's not his fault. It's not our fault. This is a matter of life and death. Before we talk about being happy, let's talk about staying alive. A woman got married, and as a good Christian, even if she was making significantly more money, she put the money in a joint account. Until one day she wanted to make a simple purchase. The card was declining, bam, 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 and she's wondering why. And then she checks the history, $135,000 gone. What happened? The husband spent it all, and guess where? On OnlyFans. Adult sites. Squandered the family's money on adult sites. Listen to me. If you are still single, don't be so sure that that's a bad thing. You don't know what God has saved you from. There are many people who were dating people and the relationship didn't work, and then one of them went on to get married, and after a while, I began to thank God for the person that they broke up with. I have seen at least 5 cases. Just yesterday, somebody was telling me, because she has decided to leave her husband, and then she mentioned this other lady that this guy was dating does not know what God did for her. That's what she said. Just yesterday. I'll tell you one more story that was in the news. Just imagine the actor named Johnny Depp at the peak of his career, one of the highest paid and celebrated actors in the world, and all of a sudden, after running, I think, 1 or 2 parts of the popular Pirates of the Caribbean, he begins to lose endorsements. Nobody wants to work with him. His reputation was almost permanently damaged because his wife told the media that he was abusing her. Now, thankfully, he pushed back, took it to court. Not many people have that time. Not many people have that energy. And it was discovered not only was he innocent, she was the aggressor. So imagine, you are showing him hell in the house as if that's not enough. You now want to ruin his reputation, ruin his career. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. You can be a genius in your career. You can build a company from the ground up. You get everything right, but who you got married to. And one person will raise the whole thing from the top to the bottom. It only takes days. It takes months to build a skyscraper, but it takes moments to bring it down. This sermon is a warning. Are you ready for the title of the sermon now? It is this: marriage is a business decision. What did I say? So what I'm trying to tell you is this: who you get married to can affect your career, can affect your health, can affect your finances, can affect your ministry. It can destroy. There is nothing else or nothing in your life that the wrong partner cannot destroy. Some people say poetically, there is no place in hell hotter than a woman's rage. And it's applicable to both genders, but the saying is targeted at women. If a woman mean you, only Jehovah. Only Jehovah. I read about an oil tycoon who was asked to pay $974 million to his wife in compensation for divorce. It's not my business to tell you who is right or wrong. I'm just here to tell you, at the end of the day, it's a business decision. Who you get married to is a business decision. And you know what's crazy? She didn't want to collect it at first. She felt she deserved more. True life story. But eventually she collected it grudgingly. And what I'm saying affects both genders. 50% of divorced women experience decline in their financial well-being, with many of them falling into poverty. Marriage is a business decision. The person by your side may need this desperately. Help me inconvenience the person for a bit and say, Pastor said I should tell you that marriage is a business decision. We need to talk about it. We just have to talk about it. Listen, Was it not barely a few weeks ago that a so-called gospel artist in this country butchered his wife, his girlfriend, cut her into pieces? They found her body parts in pieces. When you're listening to a sermon like this, you think there is no way such a thing can happen to you. It's something, I'm letting you know. Before you talk about being happy in a home, it takes a lot of nerve to just sleep with a stranger in the same bed. It's not. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm telling you something that is a statistic reality.